I'm now going to cover the topic of how to do a satellite scan on the Edision Argus VIP2. So we just cover that topic there quickly now. So the first thing I do is I actually come along and I just press the menu button and I come along to satellite installation, and I come down then to manual installation. Okay, so it asks then, it gives me a full list of all the possible satellites we can choose, but because we're based here in Ireland, the main satellite to be interest to English speaking people will be Astra 2, which is 28.2 degrees east. Okay, so just come along, I've highlighted that, and now I simply press the red button on the remote control here. So I'm going to just press that now, and you'll see the effect of that. It says, brings up a new menu. Do you want us to do a scan mode for all, or just FTA, which means free to air? Well, obviously free to air unless we have a card is the only way, because there's no point having Sky Sports and Sky Movies if we can't actually watch them, because they'll be encrypted and useless to us. So then we come along anyway, and the next thing we simply do is go OK, begin the search. So this is kicking off the process here now. So I'm going to display some useful features in this. It's working through this list quite quickly. So we can see on the left hand side here we have the TV list, 31 channels so far, and a full list of what all these channels are. On the right hand side we have a radio list which we're pulling in. Then we have the name of the satellite. So it's telling it here that we're only programming one satellite rather than a number of different satellites. The percentage of the scan that's been completed, and also the time left. So there's about 3 minutes to go. Okay. Now the scan result here, we can see here it's giving a quality, strength, strength and quality on the signal coming in. Okay, and then it's giving a running total of 89 we'll say TV channels and 71 radio channels so far, and the number of repeats is the number of channels that are the same that have come up twice. Okay, so during this process, it's essential that the satellite lead be connected, but not necessarily the terrestrial one, simply because it's only scanning for satellite channels at this particular point. Now you may have noticed here that the signal strength here is sometimes very low, and then it jumps quite high in terms of quality signal. And that's because within a particular satellite, there'll be maybe in the region of about 100, 120 transponders that cover certain frequencies, and they'll have certain channels broadcasting on them. So this box comes pre-programmed with a list of all those transponders, and it just works through each of the transponders. So some of them are relevant and some of them are not relevant. So it just does a full shotgun blast of all the different transponders, and it just pulls in the relevant ones. So the whole process, beginning to end, of pulling in all these channels takes about 4 minutes for that. So what I'm going to do now is we'll probably just pause the recording for a minute, and we'll restart recording in a moment when we're coming towards the end of the process, because there's very little value to be added other than you sitting there for 2 minutes at the PC looking at nothing. Okay. So, so you can see anyway, we're working through, we've gone through 96 of the 105 transponders so far. So it's sort of jumpy the way the progress bar moves. It simply moves, and then it's on its particular transponder. When it moves to the next one, it jumps up another percentage or so. Okay. So so it's just going parsing, and so we're at transponder 100 now. So you can see already we're up to a fairly comprehensive list of channels. On the boxes that we sell pre-programmed, we generally reduce the channels to much more than that for two reasons. There's a certain amount of duplication. So it asks us now that we want to save it, and we'll come along and we'll say OK. So we'll say yes. So all those channels that we have now been saved. And what we can do at that particular point is we can change the order, but normally what we do after doing a satellite scan like that, we would simply come along and do a terrestrial scan. Now I'm just going to show one quick feature that we didn't use in this, which was in the satellite installation. We could actually go and do an auto install here, which is a bit of a convoluted thing. It takes about 25 minutes according to this thing here, and I think it just actually looks and see what satellites have been fed in, and it tries to pull in all that information for you. But so that's not really an option. Why would you spend 25 minutes doing it when you can do it in 4 or 5? So just exit out there. Do you want to save the changes? No. And so that's it. So you just exit there and say yes. So out we go there, and that's basically an overview of how to do a satellite scan. Okay.